Hey there folks, it's your Taboo Scout here. Sorry for the shady, sort of half shade, wearing shades sort of video, but sometimes I feel, I just think it's necessary with certain things. So for today's edition, what I'm going to tell you isn't any closely guarded secret. It's been media news for a long time now, but what I am going to add to it, although there's people out there with far better credentials than me that have warned all of us so many other times, I have to do my bit. And also it affects me because I'm living in the country it's happening in. So a while back, the government announced they were going to make new laws so that the police could break up public demonstrations, your voice, basically. They could come along and just break it up, and you don't have a say in the matter, and you don't. So a couple of days ago, they've upped those powers, so that you don't even get a chance to start your protest or to vent or even view your point to get it across. So let's have a look at a few things, and then we will make a final judgment. Okay, let's go. You're being stopped at the door straight away from protesting. Well, let's have a look at this with some comparisons through history. These types of laws are all enforced by the same sort of people, but all wearing just different uniforms of that period. You may think I'm being extreme, but that's the way it is, the way it's always been. Now, let's have a look, let's have a think about how these laws are passed. So every law has to go through Parliament, and the guys in the big sleepy tower then decide whether it's a good law or a bad law. It's probably a good law if enough money is exchanged. Either way, they have to decide. So when the Prime Minister, in this case the UK Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, and yes, UK, this is your Prime Minister, we won't talk about the ears or the eyes, but you didn't even get to vote for him. So he's decided, in another clumsy introduction of himself, to put more infringements on your rights. Question I ask is, how long are the great British public going to put up with these infringements on your right? Hey, hold on. Great British public. Okay, right, now we're sort of including everyone. But, you know, exactly who are the great British public? Who will you be left with? You'll be left with the armchair warrior, because, again, you're being stopped right even before you get out your front door. Yeah, you won't even be allowed to gather for the protest. So let's refer to say how we were warned before by people with far better credentials than me, even in the film 1984, where this could be a scene from the 30s of a guy being led off to be put against the wall and saying a last goodbye. Let's look at some other comparisons. Certain rallies by certain people, but it's all image program. Here's another more up-to-date rally, but do you see any comparisons? Do you see the warnings? Do you even want to see? The thing is, it's time, because this is all going to come back and hit you. So let's have a little summary. Well, Scout family, there it is. Just the last few images alone in that little presentation should have been enough of a warning. You know, I know I used 1984 as an example there, but reason being is because it is spot on. I don't know where it's like in whatever country you might be watching this from, but at least here in the United Kingdom, we have had our voice taken away. End of story. Okay? Never will you get to actually get outside the premises of or the grounds of these literally fortresses that these people hide in, politicians, the police. And I know you might think I've got a bugbear against the police. I have, I'll admit it. But at the end of the day, they're not doing what's written on the can. They're not policing as a sense. And like I said before, people with far better credentials than me. I don't have any, apart from my instincts and what I see. But we've been warned about this for decades, since 1984. And it's time now. Whether this is a thing that's made you feel uncomfortable, but you've been noticing that over the years, you feel more and more like you're living in a dictatorship, and what they tell you is your freedom. When you step outside of it and look in, it's actually a load of bullshit. Shopping malls, staring at your phone. And that's basically what we've got these days. Maybe going to a park. There's not much else. I'm absolutely, totally pissed off that they've been given more powers to do this, because they're stopping you, that example of the armchair warrior, they're stopping you right from the start line. So it's an uncomfortable place to be, but you should really be asking yourself, where's all this going to lead to? Is it going to affect me? Will I be dead and buried before all this happens, in which case most people wouldn't give a shit? But the thing is, it's happening right now, and I've just given you an example. And they're getting you used to the fact that soon you're going to do everything they tell you to do. When I mean they, I mean the authorities, the governments, all those high elites. And shame on you, Rishi Sunak, for making such a clumsy and ham-handed way of meeting the British public. I bow down to your absolute magnificent stupidity. I've never seen anything like it. Maybe it's the years. But, Scout family, there it is. This is more of a warning than news. And that's it. Look ahead, like I keep saying. Scout 12. I'll see you all soon.